Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, March 9th, 2026. I'm Twyla Thompson with the details. Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of crime, Trevor Bailey, says police are aware of 6 gangs operating in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and law enforcement officials say the problem is deeper than previously anticipated, as the problem has now penetrated the school system. As we hear in this report, urgent strategic measures have begun and will continue, with some areas already under close monitoring.
Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force is ramping up its high command strategy to deal with crime, particularly gang activity within schools. Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of crime, Trevor Bailey, said that during a recent visit to a secondary school, students openly admitted that they are members of the 6 and 7 gangs.
That is of tremendous concern to us, because if our students can openly indicate to law enforcement that we are either members of or associated with gang, and they are in school, that tells me that we have a lot of work to do. The vast majority of persons who were up in arms for the 6 at the institution I went were young ladies.
High-level strategic engagements with school principals and education officials have already begun. These discussions have further revealed the extent of the work required to holistically address the issue of gangs within schools.
One head teacher reported that whilst class was in session, a male student took out from his pocket his marijuana, rolled the cigarette while the teacher is at the front of the class, took out his lighter, lit, and started smoking. One head teacher said that sometimes on a given day, as much as 35% of the school do not come back to class after lunch.
In 2024, ACP Bailey had indicated that there were between 4 and 5 gangs operating in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He said that number has since increased.
Right now, we have about 6 active gangs here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that I know of operating on a daily basis. Yeah.
ACP Bailey also revealed several areas that police are closely monitoring where gang members are believed to be prevalent.
The southern tip of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, stretching from I'll say, Barley to Stubbs, is of particular concern to us in law enforcement.
ACP Bailey said the High Command of the police force has also met to identify gaps in existing legislation as they seek support from the Attorney General to strengthen their efforts with stronger legal backing.
There are some areas we're calling for some new legislation. We're calling for some clarification in some aspect. We're calling for some law to be totally removed from the legislation.
Tomorrow, March 10, the RSVGPF will again be meeting with various stakeholders and police divisions. Churches, community groups, and NGOs are being encouraged to take an active role in promoting positive messages to the nation's youth. For SVGTV News, Larissa Pogsley-Kidd.
Meanwhile, a national consultation on school violence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines will take place tomorrow, Tuesday, March 10th, 2026, from 10 a.m. at the National Insurance Services NIS Conference Room under the theme Safer Schools, Safer Communities. The consultation is being hosted by the Ministry of National Security, Immigration and National Emergency Management in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, Vocational Training, Innovation and Digital Transformation and the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. The session will bring together key stakeholders to examine the issue of school violence and to discuss practical strategies aimed at strengthening safety within our schools and communities. Minister of Social Welfare, Community Empowerment, National Heritage and Ecclesiastical Affairs, Honorable Siobhan John, is appealing for patience as her ministry works to clean up the list of individuals receiving public assistance and to identify persons who may have qualified but were not included in the government's support program. Speaking on NBC Radio's face-to-face program today, Minister John said the process of putting things right has already begun, but she is asking the public to remain patient as the work continues.
Give us some time, be patient. I know you have been, and I know you're our Vincentian population. We are very patient people. So just be patient, and those of you, because I get it every day, Colville. I go into my constituency and I see the need for persons to really, they have the eligibility, especially persons who have reached 70. No one in the home working, or they're not getting an additional income or anything. They are in need. And I am going to say it again. Be patient. We are examining the situation. Persons will come to you. They will assess your situation, and will be able to determine whether or not you fit the criteria for the public assistance list. And if you do, rightfully it is yours. This is a government of equality, fairness, and justice.
During the election campaign, the NDP promised to increase the public assistance payout to $500, up from $360. Minister John noted that the increased payment was implemented before the party's first 100 days in office, and the government remains determined to ensure that vulnerable citizens receive the support they need. In relation to burial support offered by her ministry, Minister John made it clear that this assistance is intended only for the most vulnerable families who need help to bury their loved ones.
In doing that, and please don't go and say, Minister, say come there. It is for those who are underprivileged. They don't have any form of assistance. And I know I've heard complaint from my officers saying people come in there for assistance in funerals, to buy t-shirts or to go towards repast. We are not doing that. We are helping you to bury your loved one with pride if you're not able to.
A fifth form modern languages conference opened today at the Roman Catholic Pastoral Center in Edinburgh. Education Officer Kamara Foster said the conference is a key strategy used to help prepare students for their upcoming Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) examinations. He explained that the conference focuses on breaking down both the written and oral components of the French and Spanish examinations at the CSEC level, allowing students to better understand what is required of them.
This morning in particular, we'll be focusing on the written part of the exam as well as the oral component. The written exam has 4 parts. First, we have our guided situations, followed by the letter, contextual dialogue, and finally the reading comprehension. And after that, we're going through the oral component of the exam. Now, this seminar, we normally have teachers or other specialists who will guide the students through presentations, through the different components of the exam, just to give students major tips and tricks, should I say, in gaining optimum points in each part of the exam.
Foster further noted that since the introduction of the initiative, there has been a significant improvement in students' performance in modern languages examinations across the country.
I think since we have decided to have the conference in a regional way, we've seen much better results. As I mentioned before, we used to have the conference as a collective where all schools would have come together, and we weren't sure if learning was really taking place, especially because participation was at a minimal. Right? We used to have more participation from the bigger schools. We had schools like St. Vincent Grammar School, St. Joseph's Convent, and Girls High School. But we wanted to reach students who we would assume to be a bit more reserved. And in that way, we were able to see greater results at the CSEC level, especially as it relates to the oral component, because we take students through this part of the exam where we sit with them, we give them a mock exam, and this gives them great preparation for the exam that will take place early May 2026.
Students attending the 5th Form Modern Languages Conference say the initiative is timely and is helping them feel more prepared and confident ahead of their Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) examinations. During an interview with SVG-TV this morning, several students shared their experiences at the conference thus far, noting that the sessions have opened new opportunities for learning and understanding the French and Spanish languages. The students highlighted that the guidance and support provided during the sessions have made them feel better equipped to face both the written and oral components of the examination.
Well, so far, what I learned, what I took away from this conference is the different tips that you could use to tackle CSEC or tackle exams in general.
What I've learned from the conference is, to be honest, a lot. For example, the orals, we learned about the time that we have, and it's making us more nervous, but as the teachers and professors were saying, that practice makes perfect. So it's glad to get the knowledge in now and never to get it.
At this conference has been a lot more, it's been very informative, it's been very interactive as well. I thought the presenters have been doing a very good job, making sure that we get everything correct, we perfect our pronunciations, perfect our language, and I thought it's been very good, it's been very helpful.
Many of the students added that they are now looking forward to the exam day as they are eager to showcase what they have learned at the conference. The students who participated in day one of the conference today were from the Bishop College Kingstown, Intermediate High School, and St. Martin's Secondary School. Tomorrow it will be the turn for students of the Emmanuel High School, Mesopotamia, Mountain View Adventist Academy, St. Joseph's Convent, Mariquah, and West St. George Secondary School. The South Coast Marine Managed Area will soon have young stewards of the sea to help protect and monitor their environment. These young sailors are being targeted by the SVG Sailing Association under the Tide Turners project. Larissa Pugsley-Cade tells us more in this report.
Over the next 12 months, these young sailors will be exposed to environmental conservation activities, not only on land but also in the ocean. Outlining the activities at the launch last Friday, project manager for the Tide Turners project expressed optimism about the initiative.
He's very grateful to Louise Mitchell, who's inspired this whole thing and kind of gave her the inspiration and the motivation to keep on trying and to try to not only have the youth sailing, but at the same time teach them about the importance of the environment that they are sailing in.
The expertise of coastal marine biologist Joshua Gooden will be utilized to train the young sailors.
By the end of this project, they're going to be collecting data on coastal erosion, the bird species that occupy this terrestrial mangrove forest, coupled with behind Young Island. And they're also going to be categorizing different sources of pollution and where it comes from, to, in the end, inform adaptive management and restoration strategies for the South Coast Marine Managed Area.
The SVG Conservation Fund is funding the project to the tune of $22,000.
We are happy to be a part of this project, as it's not just a grant given to the SVG Sailing Association, it's an investment in our youth and our marine environment across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So we look forward to the work that they would be doing over the next 12 months.
Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation and Sustainable Development, who attended the launch of the event, expressed pleasure with the initiative.
And we just thought that is really an excellent idea, an excellent initiative, and having the kids involved as well, that is really encouraging.
It was noted that the four main ecosystems, including mangroves and seagrass beds, will form part of the educational awareness component of the program. For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pogsley-Kidd.
The Ministry of Tourism and the SVG Sailing Association will be engaging the media tomorrow on the upcoming sailing week, which is scheduled for later this month. Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation and Sustainable Development, Honorable Dr. Kishore Shallow, said he is pleased with the progress made so far and noted that much is anticipated for this year's Easter Regatta.
A very important component of the SVG Sailing Week this year is a green campaign, because what we want to do is use the opportunity to centralize, to socialize people, Vincentians especially, about sustainable development. So yes, we could develop our tourism product, including Sailing Week, and we could have all these regatta and so on, but it needs to be done, in alignment with sustainability. And that is what we are doing, collaborating with the key stakeholders. And I'm really elated at the approach of the Sailing Club.
SVG Sailing Week is set to take place from March 29th to April 6th, 2026. Sandy Bay Government School emerged as the overall winner for the Garafuna theme presentation at the 11th National Schools Garafuna Folk Festival and History exhibition held on Friday at Independence Park. More than 30 primary and secondary schools participated in the festival, which was hosted by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Creative Industries in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and the Garafuna Heritage Foundation. The event was held under the theme Children of Chatoyer, Fruits of Our Heritage. Other results from the competition showed that the award for the most school with creative use of colors went to Kingstown Preparatory School. Additional awards: largest groups of students in the March Past, Dr. J.P. Eustace Secondary School. Most organized group, Fancy Government School. Best Garafuna Chant, Fancy Government School. Cultural presentations. Most outstanding instrumental piece, Kingstown Anglican School. Most outstanding Garafuna dance, St. Joseph's Convent, Kingstown. Most outstanding Garafuna song, Owia Government School. Most outstanding choral speech, Evesham Methodist School. Most outstanding poetry, Sion Hill Government School. Most outstanding medley, Barrowley Government School. Exhibition category, most outstanding traditional booth, Georgetown Secondary School. Most outstanding research paper, Central Leeward Secondary School. Most outstanding oral presentation, West St. George Secondary School. Most creative local dish, North Union Secondary School. Fashion show, most outstanding Garafuna evening wear, West St. George Secondary School. Most outstanding Garafuna casual wear, Kingstown Preparatory School.